Hi, I'm Izzy, and this is Dizzy Quilts and Sews. In today's video, we're going to have a bit of a battle between 4 button-up shirt patterns. Now, I am a curvy sewist. I have a bigger bust, and wearing button-up shirts, ready-to-wear button-up shirts, is near impossible because I also have narrow shoulders. So if the shirt fits my shoulders, it's way too small for my bust. If it fits my bust, I'm drowning in it because it's way too big for my shoulders. When I learned how to sew and discovered that I can make a button-up shirt fit me, what a treat that was. So like I said, in today's video, we are going to look at 4 of my favorite button-up shirts and talk about the different features of each one. And then I'll let you know which one is my favorite. Let's begin with the Aria shirt by Love Notions. And I'm going to look down from time to time because I've got a ton of notes and a ton of information on each pattern. So the Aria is basically your classic shirt design. It has the collar and collar stand. It's got a bit of a curved hem. It's got obviously the button placket and buttonholes. It offers a full bust option with darts, and it's available in 3 lengths. So you can do this as a regular shirt, a tunic length, and also a dress. The sleeves have 3 different lengths as well, so you can do a long sleeve with the cuff and a tower placket. Yeah, you can do a short with cuffs, or you can do a sleeveless view. The size range, like most Love Notions patterns now, goes from an extra small to a 5XL, and that accommodates a bust of 33 inches to 57.5 inches. The designer rates this pattern as intermediate, and you'll see when I talk about the other 3, all 4 patterns I'm going to talk about today are rated as intermediate, but some of them, the instructions are just so good and there's so much support out there. I really believe a confident beginner, so if you have a few garments under your belt, you can do any one of these 4 shirts. And yeah, Love Notions instructions are extremely good, and they also have on their website a class you can purchase that will basically walk you through making the Aria shirt from beginning to end. The cost of the pattern is $12.50 US, and it is only available as a PDF. It does have AO and projector files included with the pattern, however. So if you have a projector, you can cut it with that, or you can send it off to be printed on AO paper. There is also, I forgot to mention, a really fun, so if you leave the collar off, you can just take the stand and turn it into a very cute, I think it's called a mandarin collar, which is very nice. So lots of options for $12.50, which is amazing. It's got a back yoke with the pleat. So it's basically got all of the features a classic button-up shirt would have. Depending on the fabric, this one could definitely look very office-like, very professional. But if you have a little bit of fun and you buy like a novelty print, for example, then it could have a very casual look. So yeah, it would be up to you as the designer of the garment to make it fit whatever lifestyle or whatever event you have that, yeah, you would wear this to. Now, my versions, I have made the Aria twice now, both of them last year, and I basically made them back to back. So the first version I made, I used a rayon from the March Think Pink box by Beyond the Pink Door. So the March 2023 box. It was a beautiful green rayon. I made the tunic length because I had 2.5 meters of the fabric. I figured I'm just gonna make the tunic length and wear it with leggings. I made a size extra large with the full bust, and the fit is okay. Because it's rayon, it drapes very, very nicely. It doesn't stand away from the body. I really, really like the fit I was able to get and the look of the Aria tunic in a rayon. I really loved it. Now, the shoulders are a tiny bit wide on me, but not enough to really bother me. I no longer have this tunic in my wardrobe, and the only reason I don't is because there's lurex in the fabric, and I found that to be extremely itchy, and it really, really bothered me. Even the back of the fabric really itched really, really bad. So unfortunately, although I absolutely loved the fabric and I really liked this tunic, I had to get rid of it because I was basically never ever wearing it. The second version I made almost immediately after, and I made it in April 2023, again with a Think Pink fabric, and this was a seersucker in these beautiful shades of blue and green and white. I absolutely loved that fabric. However, I did not love the shirt. So seersucker, or that seersucker, was very, very stiff. It had no drape whatsoever. And what I found is the blouse or the shirt basically stuck away, like stuck out away from my body. Basically, it looked like the shirt was hanging straight from my bust, and I really, really did not love that look. When you looked at me straight on, it looked really, really nice. When you looked at it from the back, it looked really, really nice. But then when I turned to the side, it basically went from my bust right out, and it was not a great look. And the thing I learned when I made that shirt with the seersucker is that even though the pattern includes a full bust, and the pattern instructions say use the full bust option if you have 4 or more inches of difference between your high bust and your full bust. For me, the bottom line is that's a D cup, and I'm an F cup, EF. I basically have a 5.5, 6-inch difference between my high bust and full bust. So although it says that you can just use the full bust option if you have more than 4 inches, for me that's not really true, at least not in a fabric that is not drapey. It was very obvious to me. I had drag lines coming from the bust, the front hem stuck up and out. It just was not a good look. So if I'm gonna do the Aria shirt again, I am going to definitely use a drapey fabric the way I did with my first version, because that draped very nicely and just came down from the bust and not stuck out like a tent. So all in all, the pattern is a great pattern for a classic shirt, but if you have a big bust, so a more than a 4-inch difference, then yeah, I would be careful the fabric I use to make this shirt. Next up, we have the Patina blouse by Friday Pattern Company. Now, the Patina blouse has been extremely popular on Instagram and within the sewing world or the sewing community, and for good reason. This is a fabulous looking shirt or blouse. It's got some of the classic blouse elements, and then it's got some really fun features that you wouldn't find in your classic button-up shirt. The first one, and the most obvious one when you look at it, is the collar. So it's got a nice V-neck with pointed, like almost exaggerated collar. Very, very pretty. It is more of a boxy shape. So your classic button-up usually has a bit of shaping at the side. The Patina does not. It's got a very, very straight across hem. It's got a yoke in the back with a nice pleat in the back. So lots of very nice feminine details. It has a short sleeve and a long sleeve, and it's got some puff at the sleeve cap. And yeah, it's just a beautiful, beautiful pattern. It comes in sizes extra small to 7XL to accommodate a bust of 32 to 60 inches. So a nice size range, but the pattern is designed for a B cup, even at the 7XL size. It is available in PDF and printed. So the PDF pattern is $16 US and the printed is $20 US. If you purchase it from Friday Pattern Company, I don't know if they have any, or if there are any other places where you can buy the pattern. So this style of blouse for me can do it all. Depending on the fabric you choose, you can wear this to the office, you can wear this to brunch, you can wear this to a party. It's so, so versatile. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, the V-neck has two different depth options, so you can do it with the higher neck or the lower neck. I have made 3 patinas. I got this pattern, I would say probably 18 months ago. The first version I made was with a viscose crepe. It's black and white. It's a gorgeous fabric. Very, very drapey. It's got a bit of texture to it. I made a size XL, if I remember correctly. Made no adjustments whatsoever and just went based on my bust size to pick the size. And it fit fine. The fabric was very, very busy, and I was a little less experienced in terms of fitting and being able to recognize issues. So I, took a few pictures. I wore it a ton. I still wear it. It's still in my closet. But now that I know a little bit more, there are definite fit issues that I had not noticed. So I didn't make any adjustments, and I loved my blouse so much, I went ahead and cut a solid viscose twill to make a second version in a beautiful raspberry pink red color. It was absolutely stunning fabric. The downside of using a solid fabric is that if the fit is not spot on, or if your sewing is not spot on, it's going to show on a solid fabric. There's basically nowhere to hide in a solid piece of fabric. So I realized when I looked at myself in my second patina that the shoulders were way too wide. They were falling right off my shoulders, which I did not love. And it was very apparent in the solid fabric that I needed a full bust adjustment. Even though the blouse fit me around the body, there was more room in the back, and I needed, not enough room in the front, basically. So there were all kinds of drag lines. I do not have that blouse anymore. I gave it away. It just bothered me a whole lot when I put it on. So I made the patina for a third time recently, only about a month ago now. But before I cut in my gorgeous, gorgeous viscose fabric, I made the adjustments I needed. So I made a 1/2 inch narrow shoulder adjustment to bring the shoulder seams right up onto my shoulder where they belong. And I did a 1.5 inch full bust adjustment. So that's 1.5 on each side, basically, because I adjusted the pattern piece, giving me an extra 3 inches in the front. I did stay with my XL size because I am a little bit bigger than when I made my first couple of versions. So even though technically, because I did the full bust adjustment, I could have gone down a size at the shoulders, I decided not to do a narrow shoulder adjustment instead. and the fit is really, really good. I love my latest Patina. The fabric is stunning. The blouse is really comfortable. It looks great to go to the office with a cardigan or a jacket on top, but the fabric is so much fun. I think I can wear this to brunch with family or even a night out with my sister or friends. It's a really, really good blouse. Now this pattern aligns perfectly with my 3 style guideposts. If you've been around my channel for a bit, you know that what I'm aiming for whenever I make garments or buy them, as a matter of fact, is something that is polished, understated, and fun. Now I think the Patina fits those 3 perfectly because it is polished. A button-up blouse for me looks so elegant and polished. It is understated because it doesn't have a ton of frills. It's got nothing crazy, no cutouts, no nothing like that. But depending on your fabric and also this fun collar, just adds a little something something that makes it fun. So the Patina is definitely up there in terms of some of my favorite patterns. Yeah, that's it as far as the Patina. Next up, and number 3, is the Gilbert top by Helen's Closet. Now this one is definitely more relaxed, more informal. So it's a bit of an informal, relaxed twist on the button-up blouse. It's got like a camp style collar. I'm actually wearing one of my Gilberts right now, so it's not like a collar stand, it's a camp style collar. It's got 2 different views. One of them has long bell sleeves and a longer length, and then you have these short sleeves with the fun ties at the waist. It's got 2 size ranges. I think most of Helen's Closet patterns have the 2 size ranges. So size 0 to 22 is designed for a B cup, and then you've got sizes 12 to 30 designed for a D cup. So there's a bit of an overlap there, which is amazing. Again, this pattern is rated as intermediate just because a button-up shirt has things like a button placket and the yoke and the burrito method and all of that good stuff. However, Helen's Closet instructions are probably the best out there. She walks you through every single step. She's got great graphics and illustrations. She's got always some tips and tricks and things to look out for and warnings, and her instructions are really, really good. So definitely, if you're a beginner and you're interested in venturing into button-up shirts, the Gilbert is a really good one to start with, especially if you're going to do the longer one without the waist ties. This is, for me, the perfect summertime top. It's got like the short sleeves and the fun ties at the waist. You can wear this with jeans, with trousers, with shorts, with skirts. Yeah, perfect, perfect summertime top. I probably would not wear this to the office, but that's because my office is a little more conservative and the waist ties and stuff, I don't know that that would fit the vibe at work. But yeah, this is not just for a picnic or the beach. As I said, I've made this one, but this is actually my second Gilbert. The first Gilbert I made was more than 2 years ago now. It was my very first button-up shirt. First time I ever made buttonholes. First time I ever made or stitched a collar. And so many mistakes were made. I think it was also the first time I'd ever set in a sleeve. So it was one of my very, very early garments, and I was so proud of it. I hope I can find a picture of me in my Gilbert top. But a ton of mistakes, a ton of issues. The fit really wasn't good. but I wore it, and I wore it with pride until it no longer fit me. And then I just retired it. But I missed having one for the summer. So I decided to get myself some linen viscose fabric from Minerva and make myself a new Gilbert top. I did make adjustments to my pattern. I went back and tried to remember, and then I think I found a couple of close-up pictures of my blouse, the original blouse I made. So I did a narrow shoulder adjustment, probably could make a bigger one because it falls down on my shoulders a little bit. But because this is a more relaxed top, I'm not so bothered by it. I also lowered the bust dart by a full inch because, yeah, the dart was not pointing in the right spot at all. I used the D cup front, and although technically that shouldn't be enough, because there's a lot of ease into this top and the waist ties bring it in, I think just using the D cup and not doing an FBA worked out fine. If there are drag lines, you really can't see them because the fabric is all gathered in the middle to tie the ties. So yeah, I like the fit I got with this version. I absolutely love this top, and I actually had some fabric left over, this fabric, and I'm planning on making myself some shorts for a cute little matchy outfit. I'm very excited. Now, one of the things when I made my first version, I was at my early stages of sewing garments, and the ties are finished in the pattern by turning them over a 1/4 inch or turning the raw edges a 1/4 inch twice, basically doing a narrow hem. And yeah, that was not easy. Doing a narrow hem on a curved piece of fabric definitely was not easy, and I did not manage to get a very clean finish. So this time around, when I made this version, I didn't want to have to go through that. Also, this fabric's reverse is white, and I wasn't crazy about the idea that you would see the reverse of the fabric. So that's the only thing about this pattern. I really don't love the finish of the ties. So when I made this one, I basically made a facing of the entire hem, including the ties, so that my ties are basically lined, and it's the right side of the fabric. No matter how I tie this knot, you can't see the wrong side. So there you go. So this is a super fun, more relaxed twist on a button-up, but it does have buttons, it does have a collar, so I'm counting it as a button-up top. In terms of versatility, this one's a little more limited because I don't love the bell sleeves on the long sleeves. And if I'm just gonna do a straightforward shirt, I have other shirts that fit me really well that I might do before I do this one. And I don't know how many tied shirts I need in my wardrobe for the summer. So in terms of versatility, for me, this one's a little more limited than the Patina and the Aria. In terms of pricing and formats, so this is only offered as a PDF, and the cost is $16 US, so very similar to the Patina and the Aria blouse by I Love Notions. And last, but certainly not least, the Vernon shirt by Cashmerette. Now, the Vernon shirt was designed for curvy bodies. That's Cashmerette whole ethos or mission in life, to design garment or patterns for curvy bodies. So obviously the design of this shirt will fit into this whole mission. The Vernon has two different views. So the first one is your classic button-up shirt with the long sleeves, cuff. It's a bound placket at the sleeves. It's got your button placket, buttonholes, buttons. It's got the collar stand, a yoke in the back. So it's your classic button-up shirt. It's got some shaping at the waist and a slightly curved hem. Yeah, beautiful. And then it's got view B, which adds a little fun twist to the classic button-up. So it's got an exaggerated collar, almost like a 70s vibe kind of collar. It's got some really fun lantern sleeves and long cuffs. Beautiful, but it still has the nice same shaping at the waist and the same fit at the bust, more importantly. So like all Cashmerette patterns, the Vernon shirt is offered in their full size range, and that is 2 size ranges, so 0 to 16 and then 12 to 32, with cup sizes up to an H cup. And if I remember correctly, there's a reason why Cashmerette patterns come in 2 size ranges. While all sizes have all of the cups, the block, there's a small block and a bigger block for their patterns. So not all sizes are graded from the same block, making sure that the fit is really, really good, whether you're a 0 with a large bust or a 32 with a large bust, which is pretty amazing. This one is also rated as intermediate. Now the Cashmerette instructions are good, but they are definitely not as detailed as, let's say, a Helen's Closet pattern. So if you've never made a button-up shirt before, you've never had to do a collar or a button placket, I don't know that the Vernon would be the first one I attempt, but Cashmerette has a ton of resources on their website. They have blog posts, they have YouTube videos. So if you really wanted to tackle this pattern, there are resources out there to kind of hold your hand a little bit more than the pattern does. The pattern is available as a PDF and a printed pattern. The PDF is $25 US and the printed version is $31 US. So significantly more expensive than the other 3. In my opinion, totally worth it, but something to keep in mind. Now this pattern is incredibly versatile because, first of all, it's got the 2 views. It's got this huge size range that comes, you know, with the pattern. And depending on the fabric you choose, you can have a whole different look to your Vernon. Now, I have made 3 of them. The first one I made in a rayon, beautiful, beautiful rayon. I made the View A, so the classic button-up, and I love it. It's perfect for the office. I wear it to the office all the time. It's perfect to go out to dinner. It's just so, so nice. Probably one of my favorite makes ever. And then the pattern cover photo has Jenny from Cashmerette in a flannel version. And I was intrigued. I'm like, I wonder if I could make me one of those. So for winter just passed, I bought myself some plaid flannel fabric and I made myself a flannel shirt. Absolutely love that one. I mean, it's got a completely different vibe from the first one. I don't know that you would even think though both garments were made with the same pattern. Yeah, it's just mind-blowing. But I love my flannel version. And then a few weeks ago, I decided to make View B with a cotton. It's a white cotton with subtle silver, like lurex thread in there. And I love my white blouse. So again, this one I can wear to the office. I can wear anywhere, really. But again, it looks very different because the collar is very different. The sleeves are different. So 3 very different looking blouses or shirts from the exact same pattern. Yeah, not much else to say about this. I mean, this is to me the perfect button-up shirt. I make a size 18 at the shoulders and bust with the GH cup, and I grade out to a 20 at the waist and hips, and I make no other changes besides removing 2.5 inches from the length. That's it. The shoulders fit me perfectly. The bust fits me perfectly. There's nothing about this shirt that I don't love. So like I said, well worth the $25. Now I like all 4 patterns. I mean, I've made each one of them multiple times. I will probably make each one of them again. But you might have guessed which one was my favorite. For me, the Vernon is definitely the clear winner. I don't know about you, but my sewing time is limited, and I really don't want to spend a huge amount of time adjusting patterns and trying to make them fit me. Yeah, by narrowing this and yeah, I just don't. So the fact that Cashmerette has done all of the work for me, really, it's a no-brainer. If I want a button-up shirt, I'm just going to pull out my Vernon shirt pattern. But if I want something with a nice V-neck and a fun collar or a fun puff sleeve, then I have, you know, the Patina. If I want something that ties at the waist and has a fun little camp collar with a more relaxed look, then I can go for the Gilbert. The Aria, I have to say, I don't know that I will definitely make it again. I do love the tunic though, so yeah, I might make the tunic. I think that would make a really fun beach cover-up, by the way. So we're going into summer. The Aria tunic would make a really fun beach cover-up. So yeah, that's it. Again, the Cashmerette pattern price is significantly higher than the other 3, but well worth it. If you are busty, if you are curvy, then I think you're gonna love this Vernon. It's just kind of magical in how it fits every part of my body. So I would love to know if you've made any of these shirts, and if you have, what was your experience like? Are there any that you really did not love? Are there any that you absolutely do love? And if you've never tried any of them, are you now a little bit tempted or inspired to sew your own button-up shirt? I would love to know. Leave that in the comments below. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Please give the video a like on your way out if you liked it, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.